The Weekend Podcast on Vox Markets with Justin, Peter and Steve. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Welcome to The Weekend Podcast. We're joined by Paddy, Pete and Steve. That in the background is not sound effects. That's Paddy on a tram, everyone. Hey, Paddy on a tram, Paddy's on a tram. Going to B&Q.
I'm going to eat myself.
So Paddy there, so I thought I could get the B&Q and back in time for 8. I was wrong. Guys, we are turning into old men, aren't we?
I think we're there already.
Literally.
I didn't think B&Q was open at this time of the morning.
Good point.
Is it, Pad? What time's B&Q open? It's tradesmen, see? Work guys, isn't it? Weekends, they do early, I suppose. Do you go in the tradesman entrance, Pad?
Muted.
Oh, I don't know what's going on there. His tram is cutting in and out. Anyway, how are you boys? All right, Steve.
Just going to listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll join via text. No, you won't, Pad. I'm not going to talk to you via text. Nonsense. You just WhatsApp that. Anyway, Steve, you didn't do your thing last night, did you? On Twitch? I don't know what social site you're on these days. It's like last night I was chasing you around, on your lockdown disco. It was on Facebook. Then I went to YouTube. Then I went to Twitch. Where were you on last night?
No. It was only one off last week. I'll do another one towards the end of the month, so yeah.
Okay, because the Welsh people are locked down, didn't they? Because you in Cardiff's really bad. It's worse than the valleys now, Steve.
Is it?
Yeah, you got like every other person there is infected.
No, that's probably exaggeration, but
Slightly.
But it's not locked down like it was before. As I said, it's like we can still kind of get out and do normal things. We just can't leave the actual city, so it's not too bad.
Normal things for you is not normal for other people, let's be honest. It's,
no.
It's the kind of things you
And
do.
just to clarify, Justin, it's not Welsh people, otherwise you'd be locked down as well.
Yeah, there's people in Wales, yes. No, because I left Wales, I've learned how to wash my hands and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've talked.
The people like Cardiff. So, you see, is there a fence around Cardiff, Steve? Can you walk across the border fine? Is it okay?
I don't know. I haven't tried.
How do they police that? They can't even police. It's just a load of threats, isn't it, really? They can't police that, can they? You could say you're travelling through, can't they? They don't want to check you, they're just travelling through.
Well, funny enough, I went for a little walk yesterday up in the fields up by me, and
normal, isn't it? Go on.
And the walking route does kind of cross over the border in the fields, and there's a pub there. I was going, could go for a pint, but then I thought, actually, probably can't, because if you do the track and trace, it'd obviously tell them that I'm from Cardiff.
Yeah.
So
yes, you stepped over the line, spotlights came on. It's like you've been in a war camp in World War II. Woo! Yeah. Steve Martin, you've crossed the border. Get back inside Cardiff. You are isolated.
Snipers.
Yeah,
but still, as we were talking about, I still have not met one person who's got COVID-19. So, or don't know of anyone who has had it.
I've met 2. Yeah.
Apart from you.
Apart from me, yeah.
Apart from your next door neighbour. Thing is, why are we locking down businesses? I don't understand that. Why we shouldn't lock them down, you know? And do you know, I just thought the weekend, Trump is on drugs, isn't he? Literally is on drugs. He's in 2 videos he's done this week, exactly the same, just with a bit different background. He's been blaming the Chinese. I feel fantastic. The Chinese are going to pay big time for this. And I've realised, stop banging around in the background. Who's doing that?
Well, it's not me, and it's not Paddy.
The Chinese.
He's on a tram.
Steve, stop it. Steve's walking towards the border. He's testing it. No, but I realise, Trump has been on the phone to CEOs of drug producers who have drugs in the trials, COVID trials, phase 3 trials, going for FDA approval. He's been calling them personally, saying, can we hurry this up, please? I got an election happening. I want a vaccine before the election. That's what he wants. That's his idea thing. Now, it looks like a couple of the companies, especially Pfizer, have been under a lot of pressure. He actually tweeted out saying, no, we're not going to go to a political timeline. We're going to go release the results when we're ready, and we'll put that to FDA approval. So Trump has realised he may not get his his ideal situation here of having a vaccine or news on the trials before November the 3rd. Let's be honest, we're a couple of weeks away. So what he's done, this is in my mind, he's undergone the trial himself. He said, I'm not going to do it. I'm catch COVID. I am a fat, over 70 fella. I'm in 2, high-risk categories there. I'm clinically obese. I'll get the COVID. I'll get the drugs. I'll do my own trial and show I'm fine. And so that's what he's done. He said, look, guys, we got a cure for COVID. You can all have it. It's all free. And so that's what he's doing, isn't it? He's basically doing his own phase 3 trial, isn't he?
Yes.
But also, do you honestly think before November the 5th, is it November the 5th? or whatever
Third.
the election is, if he does get a vaccine out there, and suddenly loads of people are going to go, wow, that's amazing. We're now going to vote for you. I just don't, is that really going to make a difference?
Well, no, but the thing is, in his mind, he'll trumpet it like a maniac. He's been doing videos non-stop, but he will, sort of shout to the rooftop saying, he will say, it never worked this fast before. He will say, and he said on his videos, I've done this. It's down to me. These drugs, I'm pushing them through, and that's what he says. So he'll take credit for that. So he'll take credit, basically, in the Western world for curing COVID, for finding a cure. That's what he'll do.
It's all been well taking credit for it. Actually doing any good for him is another thing.
No, I know, but those drugs can make you lose your mind a bit. Did you see what he said? He said that one. He said, I took Regeneron. I felt fantastic. Absolutely. Some people say it's therapeutic. People don't know what that is. He doesn't know what that is. Some people don't know what that is. I just say it's a cure, but it's a therapeutic. Now, Regeneron, you can't take Regeneron. Regeneron's a company. That's like saying I've taken GSK. Oh, I've taken AstraZeneca. I've taken a couple of AstraZeneca. They're good, fantastic.
Yeah.
I've got I took a whole bag of GSK. You can't. It's like Regeneron. Regeneron is the company that makes the drugs. The drugs aren't called Regeneron. So anyway, he's got these antibodies. So the guy's mad. Absolutely. And I think the drugs are playing his mind. But I think he's actually doing his own phase 3 trials. Right, if the companies won't produce data before the election, I'll do it. I'll do my own test on myself. I'll go in to get COVID. I'll come out and do it. He's waving in the car, saying, fantastic. And but he's mad, isn't he? Absolutely mad. But
the question is, what proportion, to answer Steve's question, what proportion of the American public, buy into that and come on?
They say that Biden's ahead now, but listen to me honest. There's two parts of America. There are people who love Trump, people who hate Trump, right? The people who love him, say half the people who vote, are all for him. The people against him are not all going to vote for Biden, so they are a fraction, split up, those voters. So at least all of Trump's lovers vote for him. All of Trump's haters don't all vote for Biden, maybe. So maybe the Green Party or whatever, or Independents, or I don't know. But maybe they will now. I think the thing is, some people are so annoyed at Trump these days, and it's getting on his nerves that they think they gave him 4 years previously, thought he'd have a go, and they were surprised. I think even people who voted for him secretly were surprised he won. He won? If I voted for him, it's my fault. So it's I think this time I'm not doing that again. So who knows? And they say one of the most embarrassing things for any incumbent president is not to get the second term. If you don't get the second term, that means you haven't done a good job. And he thinks he's done a fantastic job. So it'll be, but it won't be his fault. That's what I say. It's depending how deluded you want to be. I guarantee he'll say it's rigged. And he's already saying it now. He's already laying the groundwork. If you look on Twitter last night, he was saying there's something that's rigged, electoral or postal ballots are rigged, and all. He's saying it now. So he won't say he's lost. He'll just say it's the system is rigged. That's the way it is. So anyway, I just think it's nuts. I'm taking a whole bunch of Regeneron. Listen, does the company you're invested in have a roadmap to a valuation of 10 times the current valuation? I've been looking at this, and I think it's very important. It's one of my filters, of course. And the more I look at it, the more important it is. And I'm not just making it up. I mean, is there a roadmap? And the thing is, look at your portfolio, market cap wise. I'm talking about valuations. If you don't know what a market cap is, Steve will explain. Steve.
Oh, don't get me doing this again.
Just tell me the ticker. For heaven's sake!
Yeah, this joke's gone now.
Okay. A market cap is basically the valuation of the company. Well, in fact, it's different ways of valuing a company, but that is sort of standard. It's a number of shares in issue times by the share price. So let's say
I've said that before, and you've dissed me. You said no.
I would not diss you. That's the correct answer, Steve.
That's the answer. Yeah.
Well, no. But usually I say the valuation of the company. You say it's not just that. So.
But no. But some people say you don't value a company like that because obviously there's debt and all that stuff. But no, that's the market capitalisation. That's the market capitalisation of a company, right? Yep. And most people go by that. You should always look at that, not the share price. And if you're new to investing, don't think about the share price. Oh, it's 2 pence. It's quite cheap. No, you don't have a company that's cheap because it's 2 pence. It could have 70 billion shares in issue. So and be valued at say 100, whatever that price that is. But look at the valuation of a company.
Come on, do that maths. I'm waiting for that.
I know 70 billion times what 140 million. So yeah, that's not. I don't know. Put that in.
No, it's not.
Oh, what is it?
150, isn't it?
Okay.
It's 1/50th of it, so it's.
All right. It doesn't matter. All right. Anyway, listen. Right, so look at your portfolio, right, and think, right, let's say this company is market cap is 100 million. Is it likely to get to 1 billion? That's times 10. How easy the value they have to generate before they get to a certain level can't just be hype, hope, potential. It's got to be real. They've got to start making cash, and it's got to be real value generation. The bigger a company gets, the harder it gets to generate value to move its share price. So, like for a billion, a market cap company valued at $1 billion, for them to double, it's a lot harder than for a 5 million market cap, because the perceived value. Say, if you say a resource company, for example, and they do a study and they say, oh, we got net present value of that project. That means everything in the ground there, the minerals, are worth like 400 million. That company can jump overnight and double quite easily. And so, because people say, well, in fact, that's still way below the net present value of that project if they get it out of the ground. Of course, for a billion market cap company, to generate that value, even perceived value, is hard. So when you look at your portfolio now, look at your companies, look at the market cap, say, okay, 10 times that. Is it likely to get that? Can I do it? And that's what I think you've got to look at generally. And if you look at your market cap now, for example, how many stocks do you hold, Peter, in your portfolio? About
11.
And are there any there? But 10 times a valuation is a big upside. Not many companies do that. But you could say,
but what I would say is some of these, we're on the journey, aren't we? So if you look at their low, are they 10 bagger from the low? Then yes. When do you sell out? So I'm at a 4 bagger, but of one or two of these, I think might be may well get to that sort of level,
well,
potentially.
Paddy just tweeted in WhatsApp 6. I think he's answering that question. How many stocks in his portfolio? I think I don't know which part of the conversation he's joining in on.
Exactly, difficult.
Maybe he's saying 6 million market cap. I don't know what he said, but so look at that, and that's very important. And it's before I get into that, I want to talk about Gfinity, but I'll do that in a bit. But so if you look at quite a few companies, for example, Polarean, right? Polarean Imaging. In fact, Paul Hill from the podcast, and he knows a guy who's a very shrewd investor. Apparently, his portfolio's value is like 8 figures, so a 10 million plus. And he talked about Polarean. He said, Paul said to me, I know a guy, a very good investor, who's mentioned Polarean. You had them on the podcast, didn't you? I said, yeah, I own shares in them. I've been talking about them for like a year or so. I think it's the longest share I've held. And he said, apparently, it's going to be the go-to thing in pulmonary sort of investigative medicine. I said, I know. They've just gone for phase 3. And I said, there's no phase 3 med tech companies out there, or med companies out there at the moment. They've done phase 3 that are below 100 million market cap. Because once they've done phase 3, it's basically a formality before you get approval, pretty much, from the FDA. But it has to go through that process. It takes a while. And I said, if you look at the valuation of it's about 80 million now. If you look at their valuation and look at the potential, like I said, this is the go-to thing in pulmonary medicine. Everything else, it's 40-year-old tech compared to what they've got. And so even on a top 100 hospitals or medical centers in the US, they're going to be generating about 15 million of revenue. That's on the first 100. That's all it is. And now that's on a cutting edge, as post-tax, on a cutting edge tech. You can put on a valuation of 20 quite easily. So what's that? So 150 million is a 10 times 20, 300. That's 300 million for America alone. That's the valuation right there for America, right? Now look at Europe. You can double that. In fact, Europe's a bit bigger, but you can double that, say 600 million. Then go to Asia, which is pretty much it's the same as Europe and the UK. Double it again. That's 1.2 billion. So you can see right there, that's 10.
You're probably mixing dollars with pounds and stuff there, aren't you? But,
yeah, but okay, 1.2 billion.
We get an idea. We get
that's 800,000 then. So that's still... I'm
just trying to make your maths harder.
Yeah, so $1.2 billion, say £800,000. That's still a 10 bagger. And that's quite kind of conservative, because that's only a PE of 20. Now, you can see a company like that being valued at anything, PE 50, 60, whatever. So that's one company, right?
Can I just say on that, and that's kind of what I'm talking about, like, we're always looking for a new one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's it. You're talking of 10 bagger from here, and we've been invested in since like 25p, where we're at 45p now. So you kind of think, well, you're better off kind of putting more in here.
Yeah, I think any drop backs. Do you know what's going to happen? They've gone for this priority review, right? All it means is that the FDA approve it quicker because it's an unmet need. And the thing is, why they didn't go for this before is because you generally don't go for a priority review unless you have a novel cure or something like that. And that means there's nothing on the market like that. Now, because they went up head to head against an old tech, but in the same field, they're not the only thing in the market. There is another thing in the market, so that's why they didn't go. But someone said no. COVID You've now got a bigger unmet need. Your market has just got bigger because of what's called long COVID. People are getting lungs, getting affected, and it's staying with them.
People are getting lungs.
Yeah, people are getting affected lungs, and it's staying with them. They're getting problems with their lungs, and people don't know what's happening to the lungs. And yours is the only kind of tech that can really look into it in detail. And yet the ones that are radiation style sort of X-rays and all that, apparently they've been told to stop at the moment. So I think there's a good chance this will get priority review. But even if it doesn't, the share price will dip. It's still going to get FDA approval if it's fast approval, it'll be commercial in May. If it's not, it's 4 months later than that. So if they don't get within 60 days, if the FDA says you've got priority review, if they don't get, they turn them down for that. I think the share price will dip. That'll be a buying opportunity right there. But I don't see a lot of dips.
So when's that happening? When will we hear about that?
They have to know within 60 days. So they put it in. The time is
last week that they put
it in. Yeah. So the FDA will let them know in 60 days. But I think that'll be the only sort of dip you'll see in the stock now, because people are I've seen bigger cap investors start talking about it. Now it's approaching 100 million market cap. Generally, funds don't get involved below that level. So I've noticed it's come on the radar of quite a few funds, bigger funds. So, another one there, roadmap 10 bag is Salt Lake Potash. Literally, 60 million EBITDA on their first lake. That's pounds, by the way. It's 111 Aussie dollars.
Thank you.
Times that by 5, EBITDA of 5, which is for resource, could be higher than that, but I'm being conservative. That's 300 million. That's a bagger right there, one bag on the first leg. Now, that's 245 million tonnes of SOP, right, that first thing. They're going to get 3 lakes. They'll produce 1 million tonnes, right, for 3 lakes. That's 4 times 245, or a bit more than that. So 245 tonnes. So 60 million times 4, 240 million times EBITDA of 5, 1.2 billion. See, that is again another 10 bagger. You can see the roadmap there, and this is what they said they're going to do. This is what they said they're going to do. It's not me making it up. And this is even with Polarean. This is what they're going to do. America first, 100 tier sites, then Europe, then Asia, and that's not including, by the way, Middle East and Africa with Polarean. So that's a whole new market again. And then, it's very important to look at that. And you think because when you try and do that, you look at the potential upside for a company. If you look at companies that can only do one bag, maybe it'll stretch to 2 or 3, but the upside is limited there. You're looking at a normal kind of return. You want extraordinary returns, but within the realms of reality. But you want extraordinary returns. Another one, I know you distant this, right? But Escape Hunt announced in their results recently they're going to go for 50 sites. It'll get easier every site they do. They're going to do a site per month, pretty much, a new site per month, when obviously COVID's lifted pretty much, and they'll be doing that, and they'll be up to 50 sites within about 3 years. That is an EBITDA of 7.5 million times 10 for leisure. That's 75 million. That's more than 10 bagger for them, but they've also got, and I'm quite excited about this digital platform. I think they're going to go for, they're doing VR already in AR. You can do that in some of their sites already. But they're going to do, I think, AR side. They're starting to do that. I think they're going to try and go for that Pokemon thing, the Pokemon game that went massive, that kind of thing with AR on mobile apps. So they've got a digital upside, which is massive as well. And they've also got a franchise business. So that's a roadmap 10. I just think it's nuts. There's a seller in at the moment, taking the share price down, which is always an opportunity. Never think it is. I was talking to Paul Hill, actually, on the weekend podcast. Funds sell not because of the company they're invested in.
It's because the weekend podcast.
No, sorry, on Friday. But funds, 99% of the time, funds will sell a company, not anything to do with how the company's doing. The company could be turning around and doing very well, and yet they'll just sell a fund. It's just a changeover of a policy or management internally. They're overexposed, or they get a bit bearish on something, and they just start selling. And so you've got a fund in there now, and I know it's at SpreadX. Now, John Story, who's an NED, holds 10% of Escape Hunt via SpreadX. There's 12% there via SpreadX. So 2% of that is probably going to be sold down. They're down to 1.7%. Once the seller goes, it'll pop. And I honestly think vaccine news will be out. Honestly, it'll be out the next month or so, and that will, sentiment-wise, will lift all those sectors that are being hammered: leisure, hospitality, travel, oil and gas even. I think they'll rise significantly and have a big bounce as soon as they see light at the end of the tunnel, because we know we're pretty much 6 months, 12 months away from everyone having a vaccination. And so you mark my words, guys. Honestly, by Christmas, Escape Hunt will be a lot higher than it is now. It's valued at 6 million. It's got 4 million of cash. That is nuts.
Yeah. No. I'm just waiting, I'm biding my time before I buy.
Right, on the market's another one. On the market, did you see that video I did last week? On the market, right?
Yes.
Right move, right, is the market leader. 5.8 billion it's valued at. 5.8 billion. On the market is valued at 66 million. That's all it is.
And does the same thing, really.
Yeah. Well, and look, I've been looking
and does
at
it better.
I got email alerts now, okay, and they are pretty much neck to neck with. I'm getting alerts, and that's very important because that shows the stock levels you have. Apparently, on the Rightmove have about 1 million properties. On the market, about 700,000, and growing very quickly.
Can I just butt in? Paddy's joined in. He says, I'm going to wait for the vaccine to even consider it. I think he's talking about escape hunt, or it might be the wrong group, Peter.
Different group. If you wait for that, though, you will not get a cheap price. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
The biggest mistake private investors make, or investors make when they don't make money, is they pay the wrong price. Full stop. They pay it after it's risen. It's like all these people now jumping on COVID stocks. It's too late. It's too late. Novocyte was a deal. You could have bought Novocyte at 17 pence on January 30th. It's now over 8 quid a share. Everyone's saying, "Oh, this company's the next Novocyte." Too late. They've all gone. They're all like several, 100 million market cap plus. So so it's too late. It's too late. There, you've got to get in when the sentiment is bad. When people think, "Are you nuts?" Because that's when most people are not investing. That's why it is cheap. Right now, that's a escape hunt, There's people say, no, it's not going to... In 12 months' time, think about this in 12 months' time. Pretty much the economy back to normal. They had no problem with growth. Pre-COVID, they were growing sales like for like 44%. That's amazing growth. They had that in March, before they shut down. So
I suppose the thing is, it's the lack of revenue during this whole period.
Do you see what they made? They didn't make any money. All the government schemes are. They've lost no money. They've still got 4 million in cash. They raised it back in in June, 4 million. They haven't used any of it.
But the uncertainty of how long this period might go on for, of them...
Exactly, and that is the opportunity.
That's the uncertainty. That is the opportunity.
People are not seeing that. People think the uncertainty is the reason why you buy in now, because that's where you get cheap. When there's blood in the streets, like you say, or people are worrying, when the fear is massive, you buy. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. And in 12 months' time, they'll be about closer. They're profitable on 15 sites. They've got Basingstoke will be 11 now, coming up this month. Cheltenham's probably be next month. That's 12. They'll be past 15 mid next year, closer to 20 this time next year. That's almost in pre-January, February, or say mid 2022, they'll be halfway to the target of 50, and they'll be profitable anyway. So and by that time, it'll be too late. Within 3 months, it'll be too late. Honestly, the share price will have moved by then. Anyway.
I must admit, I nearly bought on Friday, but the market closed.
I know, but Steve, your concerns about this, and correct me if I'm wrong, all right? And the market always closes on a Friday at 4:30, Steve. All right?
It changes every week.
It depends if the cleaners come in early.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I've got to get out, love. I've got to pick my son up. All right, I've got to clean down.
Exactly.
So shut the market down, boys. Shut the market down. Gladys is here.
Well, finish trading. No, don't matter. We'll do it next week.
Listen, do you want to clean or not? Because I'm not hanging around. If you want to clean, shut all the lights off. Those flashing lights are made in. Knock them off. Anyway, on the market, right? Rightmove charge £1,000 on average per advertiser, per agency, right?
Hold on, we were talking about escape hunt.
Yeah, sorry, escape hunt. We get back to that. What I say is,
But Steve was on the verge of buying escape hunt on Friday.
Yes. Why didn't you buy, Steve? The shares are tightly held. I look at the register. They're tightly held. 64% in tight hands.
I sold my Barrett Homes, and I was going to put it into that, but the market closed.
I know. Well, you two. I got to say, you two. I mean, Paddy. Actually, I tell you something. You're so slow on buying something. It'll jump like 20%. No, you do. You've held back sometimes. You've held back so long, the price has come back again. So it's been a bad thing. But that first easy fast move is nice. When you get that first easy fast move and you go up by 20% already within a couple of days, that's good. Then all of a sudden you're a nice cushion there, and others start joining you. It's Paddy here, heavy breathing. Pad?
It's just the wind. I'm off the tram now.
Okay, so lovely. Was it nice in the tram?
Not really, no. It never is.
Oh, okay, but what I'm saying is, honestly, think 12 months down the line. Think this time next Christmas, right? Don't think now. Think this time next year.
This time next Christmas.
And there will be vaccines, because listen, all they're doing is, but with Trump, all he had was antibody therapy, those antibodies are already inside all of us. All they do is take the antibody out, ramp it up, concentrate it, make it stronger, and pump it back into you. Pretty much, that's all they do. And so,
what about next time this Easter?
Next time this Easter? What do you mean next time this Easter? I can't even work that out. Next time this Easter. Paddy, stop with the wind.
Stop the wind, Paddy.
It's not possible.
Well, go and meet them or something until you're in the house, in a closed area, environment, you know? Are you hanging out the window of the tram? Are you on the back of it, just hanging out? Hey, all right, with your tins of paint, living life to the full. Anyway, I don't know, that picture makes me laugh. Anyway, what I'm saying is, be a bit faster. Steve, you'll be fine. Monday, if that seller still drip feeds, that's an opportunity because it suppresses the price. So they'll probably drip feed another sort of couple of percent, maybe, or 1%. So that's fine. I'm very keen on it. I generally think in 12 months' time, if I do one more buy, I'll have to register as a significant holder.
Wow.
But what if we're happy with maybe just a 5-bagger?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
fine.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is,
I understand why you're so excited about it, but if I can just wait, if I wait until some sort of vaccine announcements,
too late. Too late.
No, it's not too late. There's still going to be a period. The markets aren't suddenly going to go back to normal in one day.
No, they won't. But
there'll
they'll
be
have
a
that
period while people
but you know
soak up the news, realise whether it's actually working or not. Companies can release more news, and that's the opportunity to get in a little bit safer. In the meantime, you're just waiting and waiting and waiting.
No, but you only. I'm not talking about. I'm not putting I'm not talking about backing up the truck here. I'm talking about, as always, scale in slowly. Scale in.
Yeah, I'll do that when the vaccine is announced and it's
all right, but
working.
you watch the markets rally like crazy. What happens is this, right? The vaccine's announced. Markets are going to open up big, right? So everyone starts piling in, and people don't want to miss out here, piling again, and it just fuels that sort of fevered sort of buying. And so if you step back for a couple of days, get in now while it's cheap before the hordes start running. Get in now. It's like Paddy, when you got a B&Q there, were you behind the queue or in front of the queue? Where were you by? How many people were there?
Well, the B.
There's quite a lot of people there, yeah.
You're just trying to break my argument here. How many people were actually there? The reason why you went early, Paddy, was to get in early. Yeah, get there before the crowds arrive. That's what you're doing by getting stocks now.
No, I just went in early because I was up early and I thought I could do it nice and quick.
All right, anyway, that's the skip. And on the market again, like I said, get that, right? This roadmap 10-bagger is there. Watch now. Rightmove, they charge about £1,000 per advertiser, right? On the market, they're going to be charging about £300 per advertiser. That's all, right? Now, if you look at a third of Rightmove's valuation, it'd be 1.9 billion, right? And that literally, that is a 20, 30, 40 bagger or 40 bagger, something like that. But Rightmove have the market leader's premium, so they are quite highly valued. They're not cheap. So that's half that 1.9 billion of Rightmove's value on market valuation, and that'll be 960 million. That's still 14 times current valuation. And mark my words, the results are on Tuesday, interim results, but I don't think it'll knock the ball at the park because they've given discounts during COVID to estate agents, so it's not going to be massive, but I think you'll see some positives in there to realise, hang on, they are now gaining traction, and they'll be, chasing down Rightmove. And once advertisers and agents know that basically they have the same amount of stock levels and similar amount of eyeballs, then they'll just go with on the market and maybe get rid of the ones they've got with Prime Location or Zoopla, and then slowly I think they'll start to leave Rightmove as on the market even gets more stock and more eyeballs, and I think it'll be a heck of a disruptor in the market here. I'm really liking it a lot, and yeah. So thoughts on Gfinity? Do you know what it's about? Do me a favour. Can you spend 1 second? I made a cup of coffee. It's in there. I rushed into my cup of coffee. So guys, have a chat about something. Anything at all. Of course, if you slag me off, I'll hear it back on the tape. All right, hang on a sec. I'll be 2 minutes. Hang on. Right.
What's he doing? He's gone for a coffee.
Gone for a coffee, apparently. I don't know. That's a bit of an odd thing to do midway through a podcast. But so, has anyone bought Escape Hunt yet?
Absolutely not. No chance.
No, not doing that. Steve, not you. Were you?
Well, no. I did nearly buy on Friday because the reason I've not bought is because I'm not. Well, obviously for the main reasons that we all discussed, but also I just didn't have any spare cash. So obviously I sold a bit of Barrett Homes, so I got a bit of money in my portfolio. So I thought, why not? Yeah, why not? I wasn't going to go. I'm not going to go deep in it. I was just going to put just a little
right.
Go deep,
scratch the
Steve.
surface.
Go deep.
Yeah. Sorry, we're back onto escape hunt there.
Yeah. When people, go on
the market.
Yes.
So I'm looking back in 2018, it obviously peaked up quite high, and it's kind of fallen down. Obviously, had a massive fall during COVID, and it's kind of come back a little bit there. But why is this all like what you're saying? Is no new news. So why is it not kind of going up more now? Why is it seems to be on a trend of dipping a little bit, really?
Right, it is. It's come to the market with a bit of a fanfare, you know. It's the new challenger in the market because there's a lot of money being made.
Is that when it was listed then? It was about 2018?
2017, I think it listed. Let me just check. I think it was 2017, yes. And literally, it came with a bit of a fanfare. But, you know, like everything, the hype cycle happens. You know, it goes up a little bit. Then they realise, wow, you know, to get... and basically, to put an app in the consciousness of people's minds, you know, nationwide, you have to do a lot of marketing. You know, how do you raise awareness of your app? There's already everyone's using Rightmove. How do you do that? There's only one way you can do that. Spend a lot of money. You know, you got to be on the national adverts. You got to spend on radio. They've done a lot of that. So, and of course, they started off literally, Steve, with 5,000 agents on their books. That's all they had, right? Now, in the UK, there's only 20,000 pretty much. 20,000 estate agents, okay? So they started off at 5,000, so they had a quarter. And those agents were also on Rightmove. Of course they were, because Rightmove had all the stock. Everyone was advertising with them. And they've had to sort of, you know, introduce themselves to all these new agents, say, listen, you can get shares if you start paying as well with us in the company, or you can do a free trial. So most of them did a free trial, you know? So they were spending lots of money, you know, not getting any money whatsoever. And it's literally, the share price obviously went down and down and down. They started off with, they raised 30 million, I think, at the start. And they've been burning cash for like 3 years, pretty much. They've only now just started, literally, making cash. I mean, they reduced their marketing budget over COVID. They didn't think it was worth it. And they actually accumulated cash. And you haven't watched my video, have you, Steve?
No.
Thanks very much. But it'll show you there that they've started making cash. They started the year with 8 million in cash. They've got 10 million in cash now. Their revenue went up from 14 to 18 million in the last year and year. And I think it's going to get bigger than that. And even if they've got now, where are they at now? They've got 14,000 estate agents on their books. They've gone from pretty much 5,000 to 14,000 in 3 years. There's only 20,000 out there. On the market, Rightmove has about 19,000. But theirs is coming down. On the market has consistently grown their agents every year. Rightmove, the last couple has gone down. So literally, they've hit the peak pretty much, and they've got a challenger in the market that's eating up ground, and they're cheaper than Rightmove, and their stock level now is not far from it. What I say, about 700,000 houses they got, properties on their site. Rightmove got 1 million. So if you look at it, they delivered. Look at this metric. This metric is nuts. Where is it? I compared on the market to. Where is it by? Let me just go up here. So to Rightmove. So first of all, Rightmove is 90 times the valuation of on the market, right? 90. Now, they deliver average leads per month. Rightmove deliver 170 leads per month to an advertiser. On the market, do 149. That's not far off at all. That's like, what? They started off literally, they're delivering like 5-6 leads per month. Now they're 149 leads. That's not far from Rightmove's. And let Rightmove charge £1,000 to be listed on their site. On the market, charge 300 quid. And yet you can also have shares if you're an estate agent in the company. So it literally, I think it's going in one direction. But this one. So your answer to the question, Steve, they're now at the level where they're generating enough revenue to almost be break even, and they've got 10 million in cash anyway, which should last them to profitability. You know, so I
guess the only concern I could see there, because you're saying that Rightmove are obviously losing and on the market are gaining. Rightmove aren't just going to sit there and go, that's what's happening. They're going to fight back, aren't they? So they're going to start competing, because they're already, you know, deep in the market, so they're not going to want to lose that too on the market. So they're not. Yeah, as I said, they will counteract. So it probably won't be as easy as you're saying it's going to be. But let's say what can Rightmove do? So all they can do is reduce their rates, maybe. Okay, because their margins are massive, like 80% margins, massive margins. Rightmove have, so they can afford to reduce their thing. But then again, most agents don't have just one portal. They have two, right? So they'll have Rightmove and Zoopla, or Rightmove or On the Market, and so what are they going to do? They're not going to get rid of On the Market if it's growing, are they?
And they're going to get rid of Zoopla or Prime Location. One of the other, there's 4 pretty much in the market, but those 2 are not growing as well, and they're a lot smaller. So I think there's room for 2 in the market.
Yeah, get rid of Prime Location. Prime Location's terrible.
Yeah, there's room for 2 in the market. And what will happen is, maybe they'll meet in the middle somewhere, So Rightmove will come down in price, maybe On the Market will go up in price, and their valuations will maybe meet in the middle somewhere. Who knows? But that's what I think will happen. So it'll even out. It'll be a 2-portal market. That's what it'll be, rather than a 4-portal market with one's massive.
Maybe there could be an acquisition, or merger or something.
Yeah, I've thought about that, but I don't know if there's competition in the markets already allowed that, because already Rightmove's a big player. If they took out On the Market, or maybe they're amongst the smaller ones, yes, maybe they all get together. But I think at the moment, On the Market probably doesn't need to do that. And also, what they've also got, Steve, Techlet, they bought this company, stake in a company which is cloud-based for lettings. It's all cloud-based management. It's automated. Pretty much, they said 70% of contracts or letting stuff is outside office hours. This can all be managed in the cloud and done basically via automation. And they've also got a stake in that, that grew very quickly last year. 2018, it had like 60,000 in revenue. This year, 700,000 in revenue. And so they've also got that side of it, which is a good business as well, a tech thing. So I like On the Market, and I think it's a good challenger. So watch the video, Steve. I've done a 38-slide presentation on it in my video.
Oh, Jesus.
What's the best slide? Awesome.
Well, best slide.
The last one.
I don't count the slides, but 26. Yeah, the last one. Yeah, or the middle one, or the start. Yeah, one of the 3. Yeah. At the end of that video, it goes through my returns for the last 3 years as well, which is very interesting.
Fascinating.
Yeah. But there we are. And by the way, so Gfinity, what do you reckon, boys? What do you reckon, eh?
Well, I haven't listened to
Beckham's buying, isn't he?
podcast.
Beckham's buying it. Could be.
I realise how overexposed I am in Gfinity when I see my portfolio go up on Friday. So, but obviously in a good way in this respect. But yeah.
Well, it's up to you what you want to do. This is what I think, right? So they've done a formal sale process. People say they're selling it, they're splitting up. Why are they doing this? So essentially, this is a process that allows you, but it's called dispensational. You don't have to conform to normal rules. If you're going to be taken over by a company, you have to inform the market, And with this kind of thing, you don't have to do that. You don't have to. You'd have to say if there's been an offer you do previous to this announcement, you have to say it in the announcement. But there's been no offer as yet. But if there's now an offer, they don't have to let anyone know unless the board accept it. So it's a little bit of poke and dagger. But this is my take on it, right? Whether something happens or not doesn't matter to me. John is doing the right thing. He's growing this business and he's making it profitable, and it's now in the right position, and it's never been in the right position. But John's put it this way. John is a very organised man, right? He has restructured Gfinity in a very detailed and methodical way. And he's been a man with a well-thought-out plan for a long time here. This is his personality. I know him very well. He's very organised, and even when we come to podcasts, he'll send me suggestions of questions maybe I want to cover. It's up to me whether I cover them or not, but he'll send me a list of very organised questions, and he's very organised, right? Now, he's not just about to throw caution to the wind and say, let's see what's out there. Let's put the company up for sale, see what's out there. He's not. He doesn't work like that. He's a very organised man. So he knows it's a very hot sector. He's just had the new broker, Canaccord, which are they're very big on esports. They love it. They write reports on esports. They're big in America. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. My thoughts is this. I think there's been people talking to Canaccord and talking to Gfinity maybe, and they've decided out it's a very bullish market as far as esports is concerned. I even saw yesterday an email. I got on Google Alerts. I've got esports set up, and I get emails every day about esports. And IBM, which is like the old guard, isn't it, of the internet, of the computers, they're getting into esports and they're sponsoring people like that. So all these brands are pouring their money in. Beckham's pouring his money in. All these people are pouring their money into esports. This is the tip of the iceberg. Esports will get bigger and more popular. And they realise this. Gfinity realises they're undervalued compared to other esports companies, way undervalued. I mean, look at Guild. What have they got? Well, they got is Beckham. They pay him a lot of money. People are buying Guild because, it's. I've seen people on Twitter buying Guild. They got nothing pretty much. They got, they're going to make big loss. They're paying Beckham a lot of money. People think Beckham just owns. He owns less than 5%, and he gets paid for his involvement as well. So, but of course, he wants to get involved because esports is a big area. But Gfinity are undervalued, and I think, like they said, this is about accelerating the growth, and I think they've got something. I think there's something going on. In my mind, they may be selling off one part of the business for a big chunk of money, or maybe getting a big person involved or a company involved.
I couldn't help notice that the price rocketed Friday morning before the RNS came out.
I was going to say, if there's news, we'll find out 2 days before.
Yeah. Well, no. I was going to say, John was not.
News, we'll see that because the price will rocket even.
No, because John was slightly annoyed by that, because I literally said when you come on WhatsApp, and I was expecting Salt Lake Potash to go up because it had risen, 8%, over 8% in the Australian market, and I thought normally it's a follow through sometimes. But then I wasn't watching. All of a sudden, I saw Gfinity start rising like crazy, 10, 15, 20, 25. What's going on there? And I looked at it, I thought maybe, like I said, it's a glitch. Like pizza, I thought it was a big glitch. And I looked at the volume, and there's no glitch there, because the volume is going nuts. And literally within 10 minutes, I think, it done average daily volume. So it done over 2 million shares. And I think
an hour later, an RNS came out.
Yeah. Well, no. I said to John, I did say to him, I said, John, where's the volume coming from? He said, I have no idea. And so he didn't know because
I got loads more shares now.
Yeah. And so then they had to realise that they released that news and as quick as possible, because they said obviously someone knows something's up here, and so it did 34 million shares on the day when I think on Friday average daily volume was 2 million. So
they weren't planning to release that RNS.
I think they were doing it on. I think they were going to do it Monday or Friday. I think it may have been late Friday or Monday. But they had to it was all prepared. But basically, had to put the wheels in motion to get it out. It was all ready to go. But literally, someone obviously jumped in before they were about to release it somehow. But But I genuinely think it's good for the business. If you read the RNS, it's about accelerating growth. I have no idea, what's going on. But I think if you look at the names involved there and the names getting involved in esports, it's only a good thing, So it's so they said that the group believes the opportunity to significantly. I love that. See, the opportunity. That's it, right there in that sentence. You can't say what's going on right now, but they said the group's well-positioned, diverse offering. It now has the opportunity to significantly expand its growth projections. Why would you say that? Unless someone's sounding you out.
When are their results will be out soon?
Yeah, so they got the results out next week. Yeah, again next week. And again, I don't expect them to be massive because they've cut a lot of low margin business, which were higher revenue but lower margin. It's no good. They weren't making that much money, as what John did. But I think the post-period highlights will be a lot better. Things coming up and what's happening. Yeah. But this will be a couple of months. We'll have some news on this. Well, I expect, like I said, John is a very organised man. He's not going to jump into the wild ends with nothing going on. Just say, let's see what's out there. He knows what's going on. He knows what's out there. He knows what's out there. And he probably can approach some people, or they've approached him, or he wants to put formal negotiations in order here. And so I think something's going on here. Very exciting, hopefully. SO4 targets. When will it hit 40 pence? Yeah. Paddy says this month. Oh, it's up to 30 now, isn't it? What is it? We're on 30?
Just about, yeah. Nudging 30.
Oh, wait, I can't see it. 30.
What do I win when I get it right?
You win a share, a night with Steve on his disco.
Well done, Pads. Congratulations.
Great.
Isolation, Steve, you just sit in the corner, where Steve's on the line there, you just sit in the corner of the seat and watch him. And we all watch Grumpy Paddy sitting in the corners watching Steve.
I'll get a party hat and stuff.
Yeah. Grumpy Paddy? What?
Yeah. Well, you are a bit.
I'm not grumpy.
You are a little bit. You're cynical. Cynical then.
No, realistic.
Okay, so anyway, October, Pad reckons it'll hit 40 pence. SO4, yeah. I said December. Pete said January. Steve, quite conservative, says March. That's when production starts, of course. Big timelines. And I've written down some timelines here for all companies we sort of talk about. Gfinity, final results next week. OnTheMarket, interim results next week. Escape Hunt, Site 11, Basis Stoke opening. December, Polarean, response from the FDA on priority review. C4XD, December the 1st, phase 1 completion. Milestone payment due. Got a question mark there? Due. If they pass that, of course. Yeah. And a lot else, really. But March, of course, Salt Lake Potash's production time, but that's getting closer every time.
And now should we talk about Asiamet?
Oh, yeah, Asiamet, yes.
Come on, everybody. I know none of you... Well, Paddy still owns a bit, doesn't he? But I've sat through... Yeah. I've been patient with that one.
How much did it go up, Pete?
Oh, it's pretty much...
Yeah, how down, are you, from your high?
Yeah,
no, I've always been up.
Did you take profit, Pete, previously? Because we were in this at, I think, sub 1 pence, or about 1 pence originally, and then it run about 1.5 pence. They were in this, and it spiked at 14 pence. And then I think I took when did I sell? I think it was at 9. I think.
I sold a chunk at like 9 or 10p, and then I bought back in at 2p.
Yeah.
Come on.
So what's it at now?
Come on, kids. No,
so it's at 4.79 close yesterday. It spiked at yesterday, of course.
It rose like 70% on Thursday on news of this deal, which has been a long time coming and has seen a lot of weakness in the price. But to be fair to Tony Manini and the guys, I mean, it's an incredible deal if you look at it on paper, I think, from my amateur view. But in terms of what they'll get, and then they've still got this massive Butong asset that will be there that they can then develop.
Yeah, so let's have a look at it. So they're now at market cap of 73 million. They were, I think, about
36 on
about 36
Wednesday.
Before the deal, before the market opened, 36, and so the entire deal, if it goes through, is worth about $163 million. First of all, basically they're selling their BKM project, the KSK work in BKM to this company. This company's going to float. So first of all, it's heads of terms. It isn't signed yet or anything done.
Yeah,
but if this company buys it and it floats on the Indonesian stock exchange, then they'll get $10 million paid in cash. They get $10 million paid in cash on the execution of the binding sale and purchase agreement. This is payable non-refundable. So $10 million, first of all, which is a nice chunk, let's be honest. And then they get $40 million paid in cash upon the successful listing, the IPO of that Indonesian company on the IDX. So that will be next year.
Eternum had the option to buy the whole KSK asset for $163 million if they want.
Yeah, and they got 20
after IPO.
Yeah, and they got 20% holding, of course, in that IDX.
They hold that. And then all of that is separate to that is Butong.
They got the money to.
So if you just value it on all of what you've just mentioned, it's undervalued, and then that's not including Butong that they've got, and they could probably get other partners involved and all the rest of it. Develop that asset. I mean, it's going to be another long-term thing, but I was looking, and I first bought Asiamet 5 years ago, so it's like, I'm going to stay in here for now anyway. I'm not taking any profit at the moment.
Yeah.
Good for you, Pete.
Thanks, Paddy. But it's a demonstration of, it's a bit like what we're talking today about all of these companies. If you got to stay in there, and they'll 10 bag, you might be on a journey. Like if we were buying at 1.2, 1.3p, well, it's already 10 bagged and come back, hasn't it? And why can't it do that again now? So. Yeah.
Well, listen. I mean, they've de-risked a lot. They've got cash there coming in. They've got optionality as well, and fair play. It's taking a while, but hopefully it'll re-rate a little bit.
But also, it's an AIM company actually doing what they said they would do. It has taken longer.
Let's be honest. Trust the management. Tony Manini is a lovely guy, and he's done it all before. And like I said, a lot of the time the share price has gone down, and people get annoyed. Shareholders get annoyed. That isn't within Tony's control. A lot of the time, you're dealing in Indonesia. It's well known Indonesia is not an easy place to work. It takes a long time, and you've got the politics there, and they're very protective over assets there. And so, like I said, even though they spend a lot of time there, they know it's not. Listen, if Tony goes into Australia, into copper, I'm backing him. Because he's that's the jurisdiction I like. Like I said, and Tony's a guy I like, and he knows his stuff. And but copper's a hot start. It's a hot commod, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah. Absolutely.
With the EVs.
So it's great to be finally seeing something come to fruition that's been in the pipeline for a long time. But it's a matter of patience, and well done to everyone who stuck through it and held on. That's what I want to say. Yeah. And Salt Lake Potash, another Australian Tony. Maybe
Tony's team. What was the other Tony? Taloo Energy. When these guys, the funny thing was, these guys made it in Australia, right? Tony Manini, Tony Gilby,
and Tony at Salt Lake, whose surname is quite difficult too.
Yeah, Sirichik. You got to think of it as Sir Richard, but Sirichik.
Okay.
Like a rich chick. Sirichik. Tony Sirichik. Yeah, and when they step out of the jurisdictions, it can get sticky. They do very well, and then all of a sudden they realise, hang on, the politics isn't easier out here. But that's why one of my filters is about jurisdictions. Keep it simple. If it's in a dodgy jurisdiction, timelines can just basically drag. Like we know with Tullow Energy, it's a good project, a good idea. He's done it before, but yet, even in Botswana, which is supposed to be quite a good place to operate, it's hard work. It takes a long time. And that's why, when it takes a long time, you realise what you're doing basically is having to buy a village elder a cow or something, at a ceremony. And that ceremony's in a year's time. And so it takes so long to get to that place. And that's what happens. And I'm not exaggerating. That's what happens. You have to go to the village elders and give them some kind of present when they seem it's fit. So it doesn't fit the timelines of your project. And so that's what happens.
It's the same in Australia.
Yeah, no. But, yeah.
But the kangaroo.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to say one more thing on... I keep saying to you, read through the results of Escape Hunt, right? Because there's a very... No, because someone just looked at something. I saw something on Twitter just then, it's reminding me. There's some very positive things going on, and it's because of COVID for them. Because, like I said, at the moment, then they've got, like many people, they had a head office Escape Hunt. Now they've released that lease on that. They're not going to do it anymore because they realise they can work remotely quite nicely. So they've moved out of that. So overheads are coming down, right? And also, the properties they previously approached that they thought, we can't, it's not within our budget yet, that site, at that really high-profile location. Now, those landlords are coming to them and offering them, nothing of rent up front, free rent for the first year or something. They're just desperate for tenants because you've got all these fashion retailers, going out of business, all these shops going out of business, handing in their leases, and we can't afford to be there anymore. So they've got these prime locations, in these places, and also they're cutting overheads. So it's good. Yeah, do you know what?
Anyway, back to Asiamet. Well done to Asiamet.
Yeah, Asiamet. Yes. So a funny thing on. I hope John Lewis. Did you see that tweet I sent you? That guy. I don't know what scene is that from. That film. There's a guy with a gun and a shopping trolley walking through the outlands of America somewhere, looking quite rough. And someone said that's the new John Lewis advert. and I hope John Lewis this year do not spend $5 million to give it to some fat rich pop star to create a ridiculous TV when they're laying off people left, right, and centre. Can they just do something with the NHS? A bunch of NHS people just sing in or something. Cost no money. Give money to. So I hope they do that. And sometimes people working at the top of these industries are so out of touch, in there. I thought that for ages. They can't keep spending this kind of money when their business is going down the plug hole. Just improve it. You only need some.
Probably already spent.
I know. It's sad, isn't it? I mean, we could come up with an advert.
They were quite far ahead.
Yeah, well, we could come up with an advert, couldn't we? That costs them nothing. We got the skills here, talents.
Yeah, we got director, we got cameraman, we got Pete. I'm not sure what Pete would do.
Yeah, exactly. Then Pete can do graphics and stuff, can't he?
Graphics. Pete do the graphics. Yeah. Animation and Justin. Yeah, you could do something.
What would Justin do?
Music's probably not that expensive on those, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll actually be the creative guys.
Most record labels know that they're going to.
Yeah. Yeah. Justin walk in the back of the shop just with a banner saying "Buy Escape Hunt."
Yeah. Now say this shop is now up for sale, John Lewis. Yeah. It's going to be taken over by Escape Hunt. Yay! Because there's free.
Justin, have you got your magic graphs in front of you?
Yeah. Which ones?
You just quickly have a look at Powerhouse Energy. Every time I forget about them, they go crazy the next week.
On my last video,
I've forgotten about them.
Listen, now on my last video, I go through all the stocks I've covered in videos, right? And I pretty much covered in the last 2 years. And if you put £1,000 into each, what you get back, and basically, 17 companies I'd basically done videos on. If you put £1,000 in each, you'd had a return on 17 grand of 27 grand, so it's 44% return over 2 years, which is quite nice, right? But the biggest gainer out of all those would have been Powerhouse Energy. Put £1,000 in that, you'd have a gain. If you'd sold at the top, you'd have a gain of 900%. If you'd sold now, 600%. So it's still 600% higher than when I first covered it. And that's an example. What I learned from this? Is it's a very hot sector, right? Hydrogen, and I liked their idea. And I got so bored, the share price got up and down, and I sold out. There's a long way. So just sometimes, when you have ideas like that, and the trend is your friend, the trend is right, you know it's right, stick with it. Because I sold out there, and look at what I missed out on, 600% right now. So
it's down a bit at the moment. It's probably due one of its mental rises due to no reason whatsoever. So
but Pat, what I learned from this now, though, is you've missed the fast easy move. Damn, it's gone.
I know.
Do you know where the fast easy move is next?
That's not to say there's not more to come.
Do you know where the fast easy move is next?
Down.
No, in a company. Which company?
Oh, no, right. Anyway, right.
The trend in experiential spending is going up.
Asiamet and Gfinity, I believe in.
Did you see that?
I'm going to buy some on the market, I think.
Did you see David Attenborough talking about stop buying stuff? If you're going to buy anything, buy experiences.
Buy shares in Escape Hunt.
No, experiences is going up.
He's not going to help the economy, is he?
It's killing but it's killing the economy. It is. All these throwaway stuff he's buying is killing the economy. So experiential spending will go up, guys. The trend is your friend. It's very strong thematic. Same with hydrogen. Cool. Same with again on the market, for example. People always want to own a house in this country. It's never going to change. It's one of the biggest assets you can have. Feeding the world.
Things apart from houses.
Yeah, but apart from the houses. Yeah, but once you bought the house, don't buy anything. Just go and stay in the house.
Keep it empty.
And every now and again, weekend.
Just have experiences in it.
Yeah, on the weekend, go to Escape Hunt. That's it. That's all you need to do.
That's all you need to do.
And maybe play the odd, e-sport game. That's all you need to do, and that's it. See, and. By the way, do you know what? Last week I said, Sturgeon, that is the most boring show ever on the planet, on TV.
It's not a show. It's not intended to be watched every day.
Yeah, but listen, I know, but you're
talking about the Scottish government.
The Scottish government's COVID update. Yes, it's the most. I don't want to watch that. Don't live in Scotland. She comes and she knows why she's doing it. It's for her PR. There's no other way a politician can get on primetime TV every day. Unless she was pretending to be serious about something. And this she knows, her profile now is way above any other politician out there. And she comes down in the people there. They can make it more exciting. They can make it more exciting rather than, they got a really obese health minister. A really obese health minister telling us about health. Love, keep your feet out of the fridge. Stop, just shut your cake hole long enough and do a bit of exercise, yeah? And she says, if they want to make it exciting, right, to say, right, ladies and gentlemen, have a guess. How many cases we got today in COVID? Higher or lower? We had 12,000 yesterday. Higher or lower? Higher, lower. You can do that. Just liven it up a bit.
Okay. I'm not sure that would go down well, but yeah.
How many people succumbed to the virus today? Higher or lower? We did 5 yesterday. I would love that.
Sometimes you think you've just gone over the time of the podcast.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that was about 30 minutes ago.
Okay. There's plenty in it. Absolutely plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty.
Pad's got his paint open. He's ready to go.
Paddy's stirring the paint.
He's painted half a house already.
Yeah.
I've chosen my colour. That's what I've done while we've been on the podcast.
Eggshell?
That's not a colour. That's a type of paint.
But that was quite. You were really nasty to that guy. The guy responded to you on email about that. What was it? What did you say? I think it was excellent creative. Let's be honest, it's a boring thing buying paint. You asked for certain paint. And he came back with quite a articulate on your. He said what do you say? Your painting journey or something like that. And yes, we have that in stock, so you can start your painting journey.
Jesus
Paul or something. I loved that. It's quite nice. An email back from B&Q. It's quite nice. What did you come back with? Yes. Got 10 tins. Would you prefer that?
Yeah, right. I don't need rubbish like that. Just say yes or no.
When we come back with, just come down and find out for yourself, you lazy sod.
Just give me the answer.
Yeah. Have a nice weekend, boys. All right.
Oh, mate.
All right.
Just say people at the end, do your own research, okay?
Oh yeah, do your own research, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's
do
the
lots
ticker?
Of research on Escape Hunt.
Have a look at my 2 videos. They're up there on the market and Escape Hunt. Last 2 videos. They're going to do very well. Those companies over time. I don't know if they may go down. If it's going down, Escape Hunt and buy more. That's as simple as that. And it's both of them. They go down and buy more.
If I buy it, it's bound to go down. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right, boys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Speaking next weeky.
Bye.
The Weekend Podcast on Vox Markets with Justin, Peter and Steve. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.